This is a fine welcome, I must say. Attention, expanding frogs, freak weather conditions, and security risks. In accordance with the Emergency Powers Act, this is episode 43 of the Dudley Simpson is Doctor Who project. The next transcription I made comes from 1971's The Claws of Axos, the story that taught us to beware the following. 1. Greedy, power-hungry politicians. 2. Renegade Time Lords with goatees. And 3. Beautiful golden aliens bearing gifts. Season 8 is the famous, or perhaps infamous, set of stories scored with brand new technology, the synthesizer. Collaborating with workshop stalwart Brian Hodgson, Simpson realized his scores for all 25 episodes that year electronically. My Master Suite, episode 1, and Keller Machine Suite, episode 20, are examples in the project of season 8 music. There's a lot going on at Unit HQ as our story begins. The Doctor is facing a Ministry of Defense inquiry, led by the overbearing Mr. Chin, into his distinct lack of a personnel file. Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart insists he is responsible for the Doctor, but Chin is adamant. Joe Grant, meanwhile, arrives with Bill Filer, an operative from Washington charged with hunting down and capturing the Master. Chin knows nothing about this, but Filer is tight-lipped, for Chin, to his chagrin, has no clearance. Suddenly, an alarm sounds, and Captain Yates bursts in to warn of a UFO heading for Earth fast. Here, our music begins. The group hastens to the radar control room, Sergeant Benton in charge, to see for themselves. The music comes to a mini-climax as the Brigadier confirms the UFO. Presently, Chin organizes a missile strike to destroy whatever it is, but not long after they are fired, the target simply disappears off the radar, and this marks the music's reprise. The Doctor calmly, then brusquely, urges the indecisive Chin to abort, ushering him to a waiting phone where he gives the destruct order. When the missiles explode, relief spreads through all assembled. These two clips of synthesizer music carry us along as Axos Arrives. As I've spoken of before, the nature of creating music on the synthesizer, a complex yet primitive instrument, required Simpson to decide upon what I call timbres for the sound of his melodies or accompaniments. This could be as simple as a fundamental pitch, but often involved an added harmony that followed the fundamental in parallel. Besides the pieces I've already mentioned, the music of the two spacewalks, episodes 22-23, from Season 10's Frontier in Space, are good examples of the parallel style Simpson had to adopt when writing for this early synthesizer. This simplicity by necessity makes pieces like this quite easy to transcribe because once one figures out the code, the piece writes itself. For me, this was proven by the fact that I transcribed this piece sans pencil, unlike I do with nearly all my first drafts, but instead put it straight into the software as I went along. Here then is the code. The left-hand bass part is in perfect fifths, except for the missile abort sequence at the end. Perfect fifths, like octaves, have an open sound that works very well in the low registers, where other intervals sound muddy there. No doubt that's why much of the Keller machine uses perfect fifths and octaves as the bass timbre as well. The right-hand melody, without exception, is major thirds, another similarity to the Keller machine. And also, stacked major thirds make up an augmented triad, the sound of the master. Major thirds are a very consonant and, on the surface, happy interval. Used in parallel, however, it can be a little disorienting, and Simpson uses this, together with the bass, to create interesting, colorful, and even dissonant harmonies. The rhythmic pattern of the melody is set forth at once. A set of three of one pair of thirds resolve to a second set of three. The resolution between the thirds lands just after the downbeat, and Simpson accentuates this further by making it legato, a connected sound, compared to the others, played staccato, short. The bass, to start with, alternates in a common 1-5 pattern, with A natural quickly established as the home note. If I play the first four measures as a kind of chorale with A natural always in the bass, you'll hear how beautifully these suspensions resolve, sometimes to A minor, sometimes to A major. Since the bass's 5-note, E natural, also has a perfect fifth above, I can play it again in a way that shows how to understand the harmony with that root as well. In the fifth bar, the resolution to A major is confirmed, and there's a pleasing response in the bass, giving a brief sense of the Mixolydian mode. In the second phrase, the melody's established pattern continues, but this time the bass becomes more active, eventually climbing up in tandem with the melody. Once again, by playing the harmonies, allowing them to ring on, more beautiful suspensions and resolutions are revealed. Although it takes a much more colorful route, this phrase resolves for the briefest moment on D major, up a perfect fourth from the earlier resolution. However, the bass line is not done and climbs chromatically up to E natural, the 5 of our home note A natural. This gives the ending harmony another suspended sound. I love how these 9 measures of music prove that by simple means, music of subtle force and nuance is possible. The music seems to start again for 2 measures, but as a mini-climax marking the end of the first clip of music, the melody twists in a different direction, ending on another suspended sound, but far away from A major. By the way, this first clip is repeated twice more in the story, near the end of episode 2 and near the beginning of episode 4. The second clip, making up the last half of my transcription, reprises the initial 9-measure phrase and then repeats it almost in its entirety. Because that makes 3 times total, I did consider cutting out 1 repetition and reordering some of the concluding phrases. After a while, though, I realized I enjoyed playing that part, so I decided my arrangement should simply use these 2 clips unedited. In this last clip, as the second repetition of the melody resolves on D major again, the order to abort the missile is given, and we see it explode in the air. Here, there is a cut to new music, perhaps literally so, regarding the tape recording used. The bass line is now unharmonized, sounding a little like a clarinet. It outlines an A dominant 7 chord while the right hand's major thirds continue shooting off in unexpected directions. Then, as the crisis is averted, the bass resolves up a half step and a few more fluttering major thirds resolve reticently from B flat major to minor. I hope you were absorbed thoroughly into episode 43 of the Dudley Simpson is Doctor Who project. Thank you most of all to my Patreons who make videos like this and more videos to come possible. Join me, patreon.com/Jess Jurkovic. Don't worry, I accept tips too gratefully. Go to ko-fi.com, it's probably coffee, /Jess Jurkovic. Subscribe, like, share, and comment as well, and I'll see you next time.